Hello everyone, welcome to another Friday Live. As you can see from the title and also these lovely postage stamps, I'm going to be doing some Star Wars inspired card making and mail art today. I'm super excited about this, and I just realized that when I was working out earlier, I didn't have my wedding ring on, so sorry guys. It's been a crazy morning. I saw these postage stamps. They came out at the beginning of May, of course, on May 4th. And I have been just itching to make some mail art with them. And I thought I'd make a simple card today as well to go with this envelope that I have planned. So these are the stamps that we're going to be using. And of course, I'm going with the three droids that I love. I got R2-D2, 3CPO, and BB-8. My little niece loves BB-8. So I'm going to be using those three stamps on my envelope today. By the way, for those of you in the United States who would love stamps like this, I believe they are still available. For the envelope, I've already started it because I knew it would take a little bit of time to get the lettering down. So here's where the envelope stands. I have, by the way, Laura Hans, perfect name for this, right? She has given me permission to use her address. And if she's on the live here, like, hey, Laura. Anyway, so what I'm doing is I am putting down some drawing gum or liquid masking fluid to protect these areas. So this blue shade is actually drawing gum. I've already applied it because I knew it would take a long time. I'm going to apply more with you guys on camera right now. And I've also blocked out two little sections down below for her mailing address. And how I got those sizes was I just wrote it out and I kind of figured out like, okay, that's where it's going to go right underneath, right? So I'm going to be painting on the drawing gum in those sections as well. I'm going to go clean up my brush here momentarily, but basically that's how it looks. Someone's asking if I freehanded the letters. Yes, I did. Although I did consider like going and trying to find some font that was similar. All right, I'm using Artistico Extra White paper from Fabriano. I've taped it down, make sure I get all those edges. And I'm going to do my galaxy painting today just like I've done it in the past. This should be like a reminder or a, what's the word? Refresher for those of you who have seen it. I'm basically going to be doing a layer of color. I'll let that dry, and then I'm going to come back in and add a bunch of black on top. And it sort of lets the color glow through the black and gives a really awesome effect. All right. Now I want to pull color inspiration from the Star Wars postage stamps. I am going to be using this one with BB-8. He's got some good orange on him. I'm going to be using 3CPO, lots of gold. I like the blue behind him, and there's also the blue and white on R2-D2. So I'm thinking I'm going to do orange, yellow, blue. It might be hard to avoid getting some green in there, but we're going to try. I kind of love how this turned out. I was very skeptical, but I love this really bright spot right here. I love how this kind of like wicked away and kind of like thawed the black. It's really cool. So we're gonna do the same thing, except I just noticed I did not protect the flap of my envelopes. I'm gonna add a little thing up here and protect the flap. All right, one thing to note, this envelope was made using a slightly thinner piece of watercolor paper. This paper was 140 pound. This paper is only 90. So it's not going to take as much paint. So yeah, I think it'd be okay doing the layers that I did over here. If I was going to do much more than that, I think the paper would start to break down. So just have to be conscious of that. Also, I created this envelope out of some Canson 90 pound watercolor paper. And it also was cut and scored and punched using a We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board, which does envelopes as well as some other things, but I use it for envelopes. Little spot right here that I just added paint. I'm going to let that air dry. And we're going to do the white splatter. So I have some permanent white gouache from Holbein, or Holbein, I guess. And I'm going to be using an acrylic block. And I'm just going to, now I need a lot of this, so I'm going to put a pretty good amount on my block. And I'm going to grab slightly larger paintbrush. I'm going to pick a number 6, and I'm just adding enough water to get this very fluid so that it can kind of splatter off the block, edge of the block. Okay, I think I'm getting there. Oh, I just dripped on it. That's cute. Okay, so now we just start flicking. There we go. I don't think I want much more than that. I think that's pretty good. If you want smaller droplets, use a smaller brush. So I'm going to come, my messed up brush, that might be a good one to flick things. There we go. Now I'm getting smaller little droplets. Using a block like this does help me have a little bit more control. So there is that, but okay. There we go. A few more smaller droplets on that one, but that's okay. I am going to be using a die for my card. I'm just using the Swoopy Thank You from CZ Design. So we do need to cut this. Dabs of glue on the second word. I like that it has the shadow layer, so it gives you an idea of how the letters are supposed to join together. Pounce that to get rid of the excess, and then right in there. Perfect. I really love how this one turned out. I was skeptical because so much green happened, but I still really see a lot of the gold and orange and blue. I think it turned out great. Try this technique. Like seriously, all of you try it, because you will be amazed at how easy it is, how bad it's going to look, and then how great it looks when you finish. Okay. And then we have our thank you that's just going to go just like that. I'm going to add little dots of that same glue just behind the letters, just kind of like where they join, where there's just a little bit more space. Right there, looks good to me. Hold that down for just a split second. There's the card. Now are we ready for the big reveal on the envelope? So here we go. I'm zooming in because I know you guys love this part. See, it's nice and white and clean underneath. I love doing galaxies that are actually more colorful than this. I like lots of purple and pink. Those are the galaxies I love, the ones that are more purple and pink and bright orange. Oh no, I have a spot right here. That's okay. We can totally fix it. We're going to paint a little gouache on top. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. All right, I wonder. Oh yeah, it's scratching off. I'm not sure what that was. This will be enough to keep it closed. For now, when I send the envelope, I'll probably reinforce it with a little glue. All right, so here's the envelope so far. I'm going to do my return address on the back. And the last little bit for the design are the postage stamps. Like I said, I only wish I didn't have to cover up this bright blue spot, because it's my favorite. Oh, he's not straight. Hold on. Let's get him straight on there. Oh. All right, I think I'll do BB-8 first. No, R2 and 3CPO need to be side by side. They're buddies. All right. this is like postage overkill. You do not need this much postage for an envelope, but I do it for aesthetic reasons. To protect this envelope while it goes through the mail, I need to use some Distress Microglaze. This will protect all of the painting. Now this down here was done with a waterproof pen, so that's not as dire, but we don't want this messed up. Okay, so got my mini round tool into the Distress Microglaze, and I'm just going to avoid going over the postage stamps. It doesn't disturb the art. Looks great. You know, when I picked out an address for today's mailer, I wasn't even thinking about her last name, but it is kind of fitting for Star Wars, right? The microglaze does not interact with the paint as long as the paint is dry. I'm gonna grab another paper towel, and I'm just going to buff off any of the excess microglaze because we don't need any extra sitting on top. Sometimes this can pull up a little bit of color. See, like there's just a little bit of color, but it doesn't harm anything underneath. You can kind of see it puts kind of like a shininess over the surface. Over the next day or so, that will actually dry and it'll seep back in and it'll have more of a matte texture again. But isn't that fun? Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you guys enjoyed how these turned out. I love how they go together. They're absolutely perfect. My brother will be very proud. He is an avid Star Wars fan since the originals came out in the 70s. So he's a long time fan, and he'll be very, very happy to see this. I should probably make one for him for his birthday coming up in August. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I will be back very soon with another video. Thanks for watching.